Hi and welcome to Yoga Berry, your yoga for scoliosis community. I'm Christine Jareggi-Berry. I'm a yoga teacher specializing in yoga for scoliosis. And today I've got a lovely breathing practice for you. The breath is so important for our overall health and well-being, which is why it was really important to me to share this with you today. And especially with thoracic scoliosis, breathing can often be compromised just to the lungs being a little bit more squashed on one side than the other. So you can do this practice in sitting on a chair or sitting on the ground. You can see I'm sitting in Virasana here, in hero pose. So basically I am in kneeling and I have a little cushion in between my feet and sitting back on this, and this is just so my sitting bones are in contact with the floor. So the reason why I'm not sitting cross-legged is because it brings a little bit of imbalance into the lower body, which is not what we're looking for, because we're already working an imbalance in the body, of course. So just get yourself comfortable and then join me for this practice. So you want to be sitting up tall, and just for a moment, just notice your contact with either the chair or the cushion that you're sitting on. Do you have more weight into one side of the sitting bones than the other? So this is especially for those of you who have a lumbar curve as well as a thoracic curve. There might be a little bit of an imbalance, so don't look for anything, but just notice if there is quite a big imbalance. So for me, I do have a left lumbar curve which is bigger than my thoracic curve. So I do need to support my left side of the sitting bone. So I'm using this cork wedge here, but you can use a hand towel or anything just to slightly lift that side up. So I'm just sliding it underneath the left side here just to lift up a little bit more. And that immediately creates a little bit more length into my lower body. Good, so once you're there, see if you can really reach up through the crown of the head. And then if you're comfortable, just closing your eyes. So just listening to me will be enough. You don't need to look at the video. Just starting to bring your awareness inwards into your body. So without any judgment, just loving observation, just noticing how you're feeling today. Noticing how you're feeling physically, emotionally. Noticing how you're feeling mentally. And then just bring one hand onto the chest and then the other hand to the bottom of the rib cage, so just above the belly button. And just noticing that movement that the breath creates in the body. And you might feel the breath underneath the hand that is on your chest. And you might feel the breath under the hand that is on the bottom part of your rib cage. Or you might feel it in both hands. So we're going to ask the breath in the top of the chest to be quiet now, so that there is hardly any movement underneath the hand that is on your chest. And see if you can direct all your breath into the bottom of the rib cage. So this takes a little bit of practice. It might feel a little bit strange, especially if you're breathing high up into the chest usually. And this is called a diaphragmatic breath, which is why we're using the diaphragm a little bit more. So once you've kind of established that breath, just bring both hands onto the rib cage, just so the fingertips are lightly touching in the middle. On your inhale, breathing into the bottom of the rib cage, the fingertips will slightly separate, and then exhale, they're coming back to center. So just take a few breaths like this. And then once you are familiar enough with this type of breathing, you could release the hands, just finding a comfortable position for them. Or if that contact helps you, then keep the hands on the rib cage. Completely up to you. But what we're looking for is this outward expansion on the inhale, and then that releasing on the exhale. Good. So what we're looking for now is if there's any difference between the way that the rib cage expands on one side to the other side. Again, without any judgment, without trying to analyze it where you should be feeling it, just notice what's present right now. Is there more expansion on one side of the rib cage than the other? And if you feel that there is a difference, maybe sending a little bit more of your prana, your energy, your breath into that side that feels like it's got less awareness, where the breath just doesn't want to move into. Good. So from there, you can either open your eyes or keep your eyes closed and the awareness inwards. Just allow for the arms to relax on either side of the body. We're bringing in some movement and breath. So on your inhale, bring the arms up over the head, and then exhale to lower. Inhale to lift the arms, and exhale to lower. Good. Just continuing with this, just a nice fluid movement. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Coordinating your breath and your movement. Last one, inhale to lift and then exhale to lower. Good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to address that asymmetry in the thoracic spine. So first of all, if you have a right thoracic curve, can you lift your right arm? So this is convex to the right side. So if you are a little bit more familiar with my practice, you might think, well, why are we lifting the right arm? Because we're actually going into the curve, so increasing the curve. But what we're simply doing is just lengthening that right side of the body a little bit more, and we're not taking the arm over, we're just taking it up over the head. Just taking a few breaths in and really imagining breathing into that right side. So the right thoracic curve. Now if you have a left thoracic curve, obviously you're lifting the left arm first. Good, so let's release here, and then we're going to go over to the other side, lifting your left arm, and this time we're going to reach up and over, so slightly over, crossing the midline, and just breathing here into that top left part of the thoracic spine. Again, I am demonstrating for right thoracic curves. If you have a left thoracic curve, your right arm will be up and over the head now. Good. One more breath. And then release. So let's do this one more time. Right arm comes up and just lengthening up. Just for a few breaths. And then release. Bring the left arm up, reaching up and slightly over. And then this time we're going to add a little rotation here on this side. So we're just going to start to turn the chest slightly up towards the ceiling, maybe turning the head to look up towards the arm. So this is slightly de-rotating the thoracic spine. And just notice I have my right hand down on the ground here, just for a little bit of support so I don't completely collapse into the side. Obviously, if you're sitting on a chair, you can hold on to the edge of the chair. Good. And then let's slowly release. Just roll the shoulders a couple of times. And then close your eyes again. Just coming back to the breath, and let's bring the hands back to the bottom of the rib cage. Again, can you send your breath into this area, into your hands, so that on your inhale, the rib cage, bottom of the rib cage expands outwards, and then on the exhale, it's coming back together. Inhale to expand and exhale, allowing for it to come back together. So you either keep your hands there or release your arms if you are comfortable with this breath. And just notice if anything has changed, if there's still that big difference between the right and the left side, and obviously things won't change straight away after a few minutes, but there might be a little bit more awareness. Maybe there's a little bit more movement, maybe into both sides of the rib cage. So just notice what you experience. Good. And then slowly open your eyes. Good. So I hope you enjoyed this little breathing practice. I can't stress enough how important it is to breathe properly. I do have a few other videos on this subject as well. And one of my favorite poses to just encourage that that compressed side of the body in the thoracic spine. One of my favorite exercises to do is the one where we're lying on the side on a bolster. So again, there's plenty of videos on my YouTube channel on this subject there. So you would be lying on your side over the bolster and then opening that side that needs to lengthen a little bit more and encourage the lungs to release, to just get a little bit more space on this side. Good, so I hope you enjoyed this video and I see you very soon for the next practice.